Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.
Hi! We're the 6th grade class of Woodmore Elementary, home of the Wildcats. Welcome to News 6!
Hi, I'm Andy Upper from Woodmore Elementary. Welcome to News 6. With today's first story, here's Lindsay Coleman.
Recently, News 6 had the chance to watch students save their pennies, but not by going to any bank. Andy Heisinger deposits the story.
Before they hit the books, Woodmore students go to work at the school bank. Whose idea was it to start the bank at school?
The Huntington decided to start the program. Rita Hathaway from a Toledo office and Tom Camella from the Woodville office got together and discussed it. They have since started 2 programs in Toledo schools. They discussed it with Jane Garling at the Woodmore schools, and they decided it was a good idea.
What jobs do bank employees hold?
We have a different variety of jobs for. They begin with new accounts where they open their accounts. They then travel on to the coordinator, where the coordinator writes down the amount that they are depositing into what account. They go to the information center in case they need a deposit ticket or supplies, and then they travel on to the tellers and teller assistants, where they take the money in and again write down the deposit amount.
How does the bank work?
Students can open an account with $1. We are opening only savings accounts, and at the Woodmore Schools office they can only make deposits, and if they'd like to make a withdrawal they can go to any Huntington office to do that, but they can only make deposits through the Woodmore Schools office. We are open on every other Tuesday of the month in the morning from 9 to 10, so that's when they can make their deposits at the school.
Why was the bank started at school?
Huntington likes to be active in the community. They wanted to get the students involved with the responsibility of budgeting their money and also the responsibility of having a job. So that's why the bank was started.
Today's News 6 is produced by the 6th grade class of Woodmore Elementary. Woodville is located about 20 miles southeast of Toledo. It was founded in 1836 and has a population of about 2,000.
Dancers, Ohio, and Space are only a few works by area sculptor Jim Havens. Ellie Knight peers into the one man's art world for this next story.
Forks and spoons are not the only thing being made of stainless steel. How do you make art out of stainless steel?
I like to work with stainless steel because it can say what I want to say. And I weld it and I burn it. I use plasma arcs. I put a texture on it. I put a finish on it. It is very technical in nature how I build these sculptures, except that when I'm done with them, I hope that they don't appear to be technical.
How much steel do you use to make a dancer?
I buy stainless steel in 4x8 sheets, 4-foot by 8-foot sheets. To make one dancer full size would take about a sheet and a half, about 4-foot by 12-foot of stainless steel to make one dancer, and the thickness is 3/16 inch. I use a 304L grade of stainless steel, which is composed of 18% chromium and 8% nickel.
Why did you choose to use stainless steel?
It is a good medium to use outside in an exterior environment there. It doesn't rust, it doesn't oxidize. But one of the real beauties about stainless steel is it reflects light. I put a texture on stainless steel so that it even reflects more light. I don't make a polished surface on stainless steel. I put a texture on stainless steel.
Who inspired you to do this type of artwork?
The person that probably inspired me most is a man named David Smith. And I seen his artwork over in Philadelphia in the museum, and it just kind of blew me away when I seen it there. I said, that is something that I can do.
What kind of sculptures do you make?
Well, I make abstract and representational, and I blend them together. And with representational sculpture, what you want is something that represents, say, a dancer, or I have an Ohio sculpture that represents the state of Ohio, or I have a sculpture inside called Continuity in Space and Time. So I have a sculpture that's over in Washington, D.C. called Detroit. What I wanted to do with Detroit is have a sculpture that represents a city that builds automobiles, a city that is an industrial city that is hard driving and dynamic, and that's what I tried to create with this sculpture called Detroit.
This week's Kids View question asked the 6th graders to become a doctor for a day and cure one disease.
Hi, I'm Anna. Today's Kids View question is, if you could cure one disease in the whole world, what would it be?
If I could cure one disease in the world, I would cure AIDS because you get sick and die.
If I could cure one disease in the world, it would be pneumonia. I had it once and was very sick.
If I could cure any disease in the world, I would want to cure cancer because it kills people.
Preserving or saving seems to be a popular topic these days, from the environment and the earth to historical sites. Melissa Braddock rides the rails to take a look at one of these sites.
Even though the whistle has stopped, the Elmore Depot keeps history on track. When was the depot first opened?
When the New York Central people from the east decided to build a railroad tracks from Toledo to the points west, they decided that Elmore was in a central location between Toledo and Fremont. So this is when they built it in 1851.
What kinds of trains did the depot handle?
In the early days, they were run by steam. And at that time, it was to handle the passengers, was handle the livestock, to take it to the city, and to bring the lumber back and forth to the people here in Elmore for building.
Why was this location chosen for the depot?
It seemed to be the best suited at the time. There was no other train tracks running along the Lake Erie area, so Elmore was the high ground at that particular time. It was more swamp in that area off the lake. So they decided to build the tracks along here to service all the people within a so many mile radius, to handle the supplies for the farmers, for the grain, to bring the livestock to the big cities, and to provide lumber for building of new homes and buildings.
What is the depot used for now?
Mainly at this time is being stored by artifacts, antiques that has been given to us by the kind people, the Elmore and the surrounding community. Most of it is farm-related, horse-drawn vehicles. We have things of that, farm implements. There is some railroad memorabilia here in the depot.
That's all for this week's show. Join us next week when St. Peter and St. Paul, Ottawa visits News 6.
Local support for News 6 has been provided by the Northwest Ohio Educational Technology Foundation, Bowling Green State University, and the members of WBGU-TV.